Hi, it's Sarah with Core Motion Fitness, and this is your active recovery functional training video. You have 30 minutes, and we're just going to use body weight today for this workout. So let's go ahead and get on our mat. We're going to start with our feet at the back of our mat. Take a nice big inhale up, and bring our hands right behind our ears, waking up the upper back and shoulders, and reach tall. So we're just going to repeat this movement here. We're reaching behind our ears and adding a little bit more as we go. So let's go ahead and lift up onto our toes as we get those hands going overhead. Good, and you've got 4 more, and 3, and 2, one more time. Perfect, and from here we're gonna hinge down and then open our arms out to the side. So a nice wake up for the back of the body. And keeping some nice tension through the upper back and shoulders. Good, you've got 2 more. And last one, and release. Good, go ahead and roll yourself all the way down, hands by your feet. We're gonna walk ourselves out into a plank position here and hold. We're gonna drop our hips and knees to the ground, lifting through our chest, and then rock back into a downward facing dog, and we're gonna repeat that. So roll forward, dropping your hips, lift your chest, and then bring it up. Good, and just keep that going at your own pace, whatever is comfortable for you here. Great job, and you got 1 more time. And release, good job. All right, so now we're gonna walk our hands and feet a little bit closer. You're gonna bring your hands just slightly in front of your shoulders, and I want you to arch through your low back, bending your knees, and we're gonna lift our chest at the same time. So we're just releasing tension through our low back and hips, and we're gonna hold it here for a few moments. Don't worry about tightening your abdominals. We're just gonna hold this position. And from here, let's bring it all the way down to the mat and sit back into a child's pose and stretch it out. And let those hips move side to side, finding some mobility there. All right, let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna roll up onto our knees and move into a kneeling warrior position. So we'll take our right leg out to the side, so perpendicular to your left leg, and our knee is right over our ankle in this position. So you might feel a nice stretch going on right here just by holding this. And so if this is all you need, then this is awesome for you. So otherwise, if you'd like a little bit more, we are gonna lean into this stretch, okay? And then I want you to reach your front arm, your leading arm up, and let's do it again. Reach, hold, and big inhale, lift. So as we come into that arm lift, your front knee is still bent, okay? You're still feeling a nice stretch through your hip flexor and inner thigh, and reach again. All right, adding a little bit more of a side bend here. So reach, and then all the way up and over. If you can reach your hand to the ground, I'd like you to go ahead and do that, and begin again. And you've got 2 more. And last one here. Very good. And hold, hold, hold. All right, so from here, let's go ahead and take our bent knee, the one that's right over here on the right side, and place it underneath our hips. And our knees are right under our hips. We're gonna take our hands to our back. I'm gonna turn to the side for you here. We're gonna tuck our hips underneath. Feel a nice opening through our chest. And to begin with, right arm circles up, back, and places it right on the hip again, and switch to the other side. Good, so that's your first movement, just a shoulder rotation, keeping the hips tucked. And then adding a little bit more here if you'd like. As you lift up, I want you to open your body to the side and place the hand right to the hip. All right, if this feels good, you can stay with this level. Otherwise, we're gonna just walk our hands down to our heels and continue that same motion. You might feel like you don't have as much rotation here, and that's okay. And maybe you just wanna do the arm circles and not the rotation. And you've got 1 more on each side, really pressing your hips up, squeezing through your glutes. Here's the last one. And then to come out of this, we're just gonna take one hand at a time, bring it back to our hips, and sit nice and tall through our knees. Going into the warrior on the opposite side. So knees back to the ground, and now take your left leg out, again, perpendicular to your right leg, toes turned out, open through the hips, just stay here for a moment and feel that nice stretch. And then begin to open your arms to the side, take a big inhale, and reach. And then again, just line the arm up over the shoulder and continue. And no need to rush this. If you need to go a little bit slower, it's perfectly fine. But hopefully you're also feeling a nice stretch through your ankle as you hinge forward. And then we'll add on, okay? So as we reach, we're getting ready to take that lean up and over, lengthening through our side body, and continue. Good, and let's do one more just like that. And we'll stay in that side bend because it feels so amazing. And hold here, opening through the chest. And release. Coming out of this, we're gonna go back to our knees. Okay, we're gonna retuck our hips. But this time, we're gonna keep the bottoms of our feet to the floor. And we are gonna just sit our hips back. As we sit our hips back, I want you to reach your arms forward. And then lift your arms straight up, aligning your biceps up with your ears. And inhale, reach forward, little hinge of the hips. Exhale, power through the hips as you lift up. Inhale, back. So we're working with some nice postural extension here through our spine. And you've got two more. And last one, and moving on, very good job. All right, release the hands down. All right, we're gonna take both hands to the ground, walking our feet back behind us, just moving into a side climber. So we're gonna take one leg to the side into a lunge, add a rotation here as you go, and set that hand down, switch to the other side, lunge, and rotate. Now, this might be where you'd like to stay. If you'd like one more level of intensity here, it's not even intensity, but just changing, we're gonna add a slight push-up to deepen the stretch in that side climber before we move on. So, open to the side, add the push-up, and then bring your foot back behind. Good job, make sure you're breathing. Great, and we will do one more on each side right here. So whichever level you're at, one more on each side. And hold. All right, holding in a plank position, hands spread out on the ground, toes or knees, up to you. We're gonna hold here for just 15 seconds. So look straight ahead for me, draw the abdominals in, continue to hold, hold, hold. And we've got 3, 2, 1, and press back into a downward facing dog. Walk your hands and feet towards one another, and we're gonna rise up and work on a little bit of balance while we stretch. So if you need a wall for this exercise, feel free to move yourself close to a wall. Otherwise, we're gonna cross one ankle over the knee into a figure 4. Now, from this position, we're gonna move right into a squat, okay? So aligning your bottom knee, your stabilizing knee, okay, with the front of your body. We're just gonna push the heels of the hands together. As we come up out of this, I want you to open your arms wide to the side. So let's go ahead and begin. Slow it down and slow back up. Good. It is a little challenging, so you might have to tap down every once in a while, and that is perfectly fine. I find this especially challenging on my ankles. Okay, they have to have that flexibility to be able to bend as I lower my body down, so you might find that as well. And one more time here. Big inhale down, and exhale, rise, 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 hold. Very good. Now, we're gonna bring our knee up into our chest, hold. Having a hard time balancing this morning. And then push your leg back behind. So knee comes into the chest, flex your foot, push it back behind. And again, balance, if that's an option, hold the wall. All right, so knee in and push behind. So nice big stretch for the hip flexor and engagement for the glutes. Perfect, and you've got 2 more on this side. And here's your last one. And set that leg down, okay? Moving to the other side. So we'll go back to our figure 4, cross the leg over. This time, press the heels of your hands together, and then we're gonna open our arms out to the side, kind of in a cactus pose, and then bring them back down. All right, let's begin. When you're ready, inhaling to come down, exhaling to open wide. Don't be afraid to hang out for just an extra moment down in the bottom of that squat. And let's do 2 more here. Inhaling down, exhaling open wide. 1 more time. And don't forget, we do have the balance move, okay, on the same leg. So take your leg that's crossed, unwind it, bring the knee into the chest, and push your heel back behind. So bring it up on the inhale, and exhale, push. Keeping your body nice and tall here, trying not to lean forward as we bring our knee in. Great job, you've got just 2 more here. Inhale in, exhale back, last one. And release, put the foot down. Rotate your ankles, okay? So just stand on one leg, rotate those ankles around, create mobility in the ankle. Go in the opposite direction. Perfect. And now hold that leg out in front of you and point and flex. Just lengthening through the calf and Achilles. 4, 3, 2, and last one. And switch to the other side. Ankle rotations, just get 10 in each direction. We often forget about our ankles. They're so important though, they hold us up. And now take that leg out in front of you and point and flex. Good, really rolling through the bottoms of your feet. You might feel some popping, crackling. Here's 3, 2, 1, and release. Good. All right, if you need a drink, go ahead and grab one. And we are moving on. Okay, so tabletop position on the ground. So you can begin this on your knees if you'd like, okay, and then we're gonna lift our knees off the ground. So go ahead and take your hands, place them under your shoulders. Our fingers are spread out, just like so. Let's move back a little bit here. There we go. Okay, so hands are spread out, and we are gonna move from tabletop position with our toes tucked, and we're gonna just push ourselves forward into a plank position, just a mini plank, and then push back. So this is the basic version of this move. Notice how my hips tuck, okay, and my shoulders stack over my wrists. All right, if you wanna stay here, you're welcome to do that, but I think you'd like to come up into this full tabletop quadruped position off the ground. So from here, okay, tabletop, we're gonna hold for 3, 2, 1, we're gonna shoot forward into a plank. Now we're slightly in front of our hands, okay, that's all right, and then inhale back. And exhale forward, and inhale back. Now as you come into that quadruped position, your knees line up underneath your hips, okay, still hovering above the ground, eyes forward, exhale forward, inhale back, and you've got 1 more time only, and hold, stay right here for 3, 2, 1, and release. Let your elbows drop to the floor, rotate your wrists around 5 times in each direction, and switch directions, and now move your fingers in and out 5 times. And let's continue our work on the floor by reaching our arms out in front of us, connecting our toes to the ground and drawing our abdominals up into our back. So imagine you've got a ball in your hands, okay? We're just gonna transfer that ball behind our back. If you actually have a ball, you can use that as well. So we're gonna lift our upper body just ever so slightly, keeping your hands on the ground. Now, reach both hands behind your back, tap your fingers together or close to each other, and then reach back out in front and lower your head to the ground. Exhale, lift, and inhale back down. This is all just slow shoulder mobility movement and strengthening for the back. Good, you've got 2 more here. Exhale to lift. And 1 more time. And now hold here. Now roll your shoulders back and around. Tuck your chin ever so slightly. Keep squeezing your glutes. And now try to just tap your fingertips. They might not tap, but you're just trying to tap or clap your hands behind your backside. And you've got 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Good job. Sit back in your child's pose. And we are now going to flip over onto our backs. So rolling over onto your back into a hip bridge position. Hands are by your side. And to begin this hip bridge, we're just going to do a couple of regular ones, and then we'll have a little fun. So back nice and relaxed to the floor, driving through the hips and the heels. We're going to lift our hips up off the ground and then slowly lower back down. So rolling the hips up, pressing the heels, keeping your knees in line with your hips. And one more time. This time we're going to stay up. Hold right here and extend your right leg just in line with your left leg. So notice your hips might want to drop a little bit, or you might want to lean, but we're trying to keep ourselves completely level here. We're going to bring our knee in to our chest, lengthen it up, and then flex it down. And let's do it again. Bring the knee into the chest, lengthen up, flex it back down. Good job. And one more time, bring it in, up. Now let's see if we can go in reverse. So lift up, hug the knee in, and push back out. Good. Feeling the abdominals really strengthen here as we move this leg. And you've got one more time on this side. Big inhale, lift, and push, hold. Good, now hug your inner thighs together. Imagine you have a little tennis ball right between your legs, and you're just gonna squeeze that tennis ball. You've got 4, 3, 2, 1. Set your foot to the ground. Gently lower your hips to the mat. Hug your knees into your body. Rock gently side to side. And then we'll move on to the other side. So both feet go back to the ground. Hands by your side. Roll the shoulders back. Peel your hips up off of the mat. Holding at the top. Extend your opposite leg. Hold. Good. And we'll lift that leg up. Hug the knee to the body. And push back out. Up. I realize we're going in reverse first, and that's okay. We'll go in both directions. And push. Engage through the core, okay? Nice job. One more time, and switch directions. Bring the knee in, up, and flex out. Good, really drive those hips up. Sometimes our butts get a little saggy in this position, so push through your supporting heel. Good, you've got 2 more. Last one here. And as your leg comes down to meet your bottom leg, squeeze those inner thighs together like you have that imaginary tennis ball right between your inner thighs for 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Put your foot down, slowly lower your hips to the mat, and drop your knees out to the side to give those inner thighs a little rest. And bring your knees back together, and just small little revolutions right here on the low back, and switch directions. Very good. All right, rolling ourselves up to a seated position. Woo, all right, moving on. Get a drink if you need one here. We are gonna do some shin boxes. So take one leg back behind you. You can see my knees here. Got a 90-90 position, okay? And the first thing we're gonna do is just stretch here. So really just kind of wake up the hips. So I want you to hinge forward ever so slightly. And then as you come up, lift both arms and lengthen. So you might feel a little cramping in your hips, so just be really gentle with yourself. Hinge forward, and then lift up. Good, and we'll do it again. And last one like this. All right, we're gonna add on just a touch here. So as you lift your arms, I want you to drop one arm, and the same arm as the back leg is going to reach up and extend those hips forward. Let's do it again. So we'll tip forward, and then as low as you're comfortable going down. Okay, so the front leg, that same hand reaches behind, and your other one reaches up. Good, let's do it again. Hinge forward, each time going a little bit lower, and then to reach back and lift and hold. All right, let's go ahead and tip those legs to the other side. So just make a transition however you'd like. Legs are now to the opposite side, and we're gonna hinge forward. You might feel different tightness in one side versus the other. And remember, we just lift our hands up, biceps in line with ears, and then lower back down. Good, and one more time like that. All right, adding on this next one, tip forward at the hips. And remember, same arm as front leg, goes back. Same arm as back leg, reaches up. And as you're doing this, you're pushing your hips forward, lengthening through the quad and hip flexor. Let's do 2 more, reaching it out. And one more time. All right, now we're really gonna find some hip mobility with this next layer of shin boxes. So bring your hips gently down to the mat and unwind your legs for just a moment. So we're gonna move into a shin box. You are going to find yourself moving side to side just a little bit. So one knee forward, one leg back. Okay, we're gonna start with our hands back behind us. And we're just gonna pick up our knees and rock them to the other side. So pick up your knees and rock them to the other side. So this might not be overly challenging depending if you have flexible hips or not, but it might be very challenging if you're feeling really tight through those hips. So internal, external rotation is happening right here. So next layer, if you like it, okay, is to come up, lift your arms overhead, lift your hips, and then return back to the floor, hands behind you, roll your knees over, and lift up, pushing your hips forward, and then slowly coming back down. So if you don't want that lift on either side, no problem, just hang out there for a moment. Good job. Now, we can take this into one more level if you like, and that is not to use your hands, but to use your core instead. So have your hands in front of you, and rotate, and then lift. Hands are in front, rotate, 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 just moving from one sitting bone to the other, and lift. You've got one more on each side. Again, you can always put the hands behind you if needed. And here's your last one. And hold, very nice. All right, moving into a fun little straddle oblique exercise. So take your legs out to the side in a straddle position, sitting up nice and tall. Okay, to begin with, we're gonna hug our knees into our body as we roll back. So hands by your side, tuck your chin, you're gonna hug your knees in, you're gonna roll back, bring your legs back out into a straddle, fingers behind the ears, and you're gonna perform side bends, just like so. 4 total, 2 on each side. And then let's take it down again. So hands come by your side, tuck your chin, roll, and exhale up. Fingers behind the ears and side bend. So open through the chest. If you need to bend your knees a little bit, you can. And tuck the chin. So good for the spine to roll around on it like this. And then that lateral flexion. Good job. And let's do this one more time right here. Tuck the chin, roll it back. And up. Perfect. All right, moving into just a slightly bigger straddle movement. So take the legs wide, straddle position, sit up nice and tall here. Okay, and we are just gonna take some side bends and stretch. So what I'd like you to do is go ahead and reach your right hand to your right knee, okay? And then slide it down as you hinge over. Good. And switching to the other side, up and over. And we will go just a tad bit deeper with this move. So, hinging over at the hips, if you would like to and you have the flexibility, bring your elbow right down to the inside of your knee and keep reaching. Now open your armpit toward the ceiling and switch to the other side. Elbow drops, or again, you can always keep it on the knee and bend. Open the armpit toward the ceiling, find that small rotation in the back. And release. This time, we are gonna take our arm over and sweep it out in front of us to come to the other side. All the way over And sweep it down in front. And one more time on each side. And right down the middle is where I'd like you to stop. Okay, tuck your chin, you're rounding your back, flex your feet, and just one vertebrae at a time, roll yourself up, nice and tall, stacking your shoulders right on top, your head right on top of your shoulders. There we go. All right, let's bring ourselves into a crouching position for our last move of the day. So I want you to start, okay, if you can see my toes. Toes are tucked under. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on my heels for my backside, but I'm stretching the bottoms of my feet here. Okay, so sitting up nice and tall, stretch the bottoms of the feet. And we're just gonna launch ourselves forward, okay, onto our hands and knees, keeping our toes tucked, and then press ourselves back and sink down just a little bit more. Good, and press forward, hold. And then as the weight of your body sinks into the feet, allow a deeper stretch. And here's the last one. All right, from here into our crouch. So we're gonna take our knees to the ground, we're gonna rock our body back into a crouching position. Now if you can see this, my heels are off of the ground, okay? Heels are off of the ground. It's possible your heels can go flat to the ground, but that's not the goal here. The goal is that you're balancing on your toes, feeling a nice stretch through the front of the legs and the shins, okay? So legs can be as wide as they need to be. So if you need to go here, that's fine too. But we're just balancing right here. Hold. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring our hands down in front of us, so a little rounding of the spine, and then we're gonna open out to the side and hold. So our chin stays in, we're creating great posture and balance here, and open to the side. You can open your arms a little bit wider, and then squeeze back down. Now maybe you're feeling like this isn't a great position for your knees or ankles or something like that, so keep going. I'm gonna show you another option. You can also be in a squat position here, okay? If you can balance on the toes, I want you to, but it's a little harder. And you're gonna squat down, keeping your butt low, you're gonna open out to the side. So squat and lift, all right? Up to you. We're just gonna do two more, whatever position you chose. And here's the last one. And hold, good. Open your arms to the side and small circles backwards. So wherever you're at, squatting high or low. 4, 3, 2, 1, switch directions. Keep pushing your knees open as you go. And here's 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Push yourself up to a standing position. And we're gonna take one leg up behind, reach the other arm up, and hold right here. Now I'd like you to lengthen the leg that you're holding onto. Just reach it back behind you and bring your elbow to your knee and lengthen. Good, opening up the front of the body. And you've got one more time. And hold right here, hold, hold, hold. And release, switch to the other foot, bring it up behind, lift your arm, stay right here. Extend your leg. Good, nice long diagonal from arm to foot. And exhaling as that arm comes in. And you've got 3 more. And 2, one more time. And hold, good. Bring both arms down by your side. Inhale, lift your arms up. Put your palms together, grow nice and tall. Lift up and back. So just a baby back bend here. Try to push our hips forward. And dive forward. Rounding your spine. Coming up to a half lift, extending through the top of your head. And let's do that one more time. Bring your arms up overhead, palms together, grow tall. Lift up and back. And swing your arms forward. Come into a half lift. And bending the knee slightly, roll yourself up. All right, we'll finish with just a few little neck rolls, just side to side. And stop the head right on top. And take a big inhale, lift. And exhale, and thank you for joining me today for that 30-minute functional training. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.